Aries, this is Just with your April 1st to the 15th, 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Aries, these couple of weeks, I think actually ever since like the Mercury retrograde, it's been a lot going on. It's been kind of action-packed for some of you guys. So I'm kind of excited. I was kind of excited to do these readings, particularly this month, because it's so much going on. And for you guys, it's no exception. So I do see that some of you in this particular reading, it's very much as it was the last reading, a very male-female divided energy. Women are going through certain things. Men are going through certain things. It kind of seems very divided. Okay. So I'm going to kind of focus on each individual situation, if that makes sense. So, there's a situation that looks to be, and I'm going to focus on the women, but you may be experiencing this the male aspect of Aries, or this may be something that you're dealing with a female in your life. Okay, so keep that in mind. But I do see that there's this situation where some Aries ladies, or the woman in your life, may feel as though, there's an element of you possibly feeling like you deserve more, you deserve better, you want more, you should get better. You may feel like you're not getting paid as much if it's a work situation, outside of what others are being paid. And it may not even be in your company. It could be, as far as like industry wide, you're not making as much. You should be making probably 30% more, and you're not. And you're really not sure why, or you're not sure how to get to a place where you're making more money. I do feel like some of you may feel like you're being held back, stymied, stifled in some way. Although either you know that there's more opportunities out there, you know that there's like a new fresh start that you can take, or people have kind of tried to give you advice, but I feel that some of you are very confused, it seems, coming into April as to how to manifest the things that you want. Now, some of you just feel as though there's a lot of work, and this is on both ends, okay? Male energies as well. There's a lot of work being put in, but not enough commitment. So some of you could be working a temp job and still have yet to receive like a full-time permanent position. Some of you may feel like you're putting in so much work, you're not seeing the money. Like the money is just not there, okay? And some of you may have recently felt as though you're not, and I don't focus on, nor do I subscribe to readings that have to do with health at all, but some of you may just feel out of sorts, like you're not yourself lately. Your energy is very, I feel, again, decreased. You're not full speed ahead. Some of you, it's a very small percentage of you that can relate to that. But again, most of you, if you can relate to this, it has to do with not feeling as though you're getting your just due. You're getting what you're putting in. Someone may be telling you that as well. They may be feeling like, okay, you're saying you're doing all of these things, but I don't see the outcome. I don't see the full commitment. I don't see the results, but you're saying you're doing all of this stuff. So I do see someone may want to move forward, want something new, opportunities being there, but them not pulling the trigger. Okay. And it seems that there's a situation where you may have had an idea of how you can manifest the things that you want. But again, it takes some definitive decisions for you to get there. Like you can't keep 1 minute you're really sure you want to leave, let's say as a job, as an example. You want to leave your job. You feel like you're not being paid as much as you should be. You start looking, excuse me, and then you get kind of distracted and you don't fully, put your 100% best foot forward in order to get it. Now, does that sound like an Aries? It doesn't to me, but this is what the spread is kind of suggesting here. I do see new offers on the table for some of you guys. Again, I will not necessarily focus on it until we get out of this Mercury in retrograde, because it seems like there's like 2 steps ahead, 3 steps backwards for some of you guys. Okay. So Again, and that also may be the case that some of you are dealing with, where you're putting in a lot of energy and effort, but again, maybe it's not you, but outside energies that are, again, stymieing the process. You're not getting calls back. So if you are, then the second go around, nothing, or people are making promises they're not keeping. I'm getting a lot of promises not being kept. Okay. So it could be you doing it or it's coming to you. Again, I feel a lot of it has to do with Mercury in retrograde, your communicative, and mercurial cards suggest a lot of confrontation to some extent, feeling as though you can't move forward, feeling stymied, things coming to an end, and then there being some separation and possibly disappointment around communication. So again, the advice I would say here is for you to kind of allow things to kind of take place. Let things roll off your back if you can. I do see that some of you may be getting this kickback from people, like coming to you. So if that's the case, it's nothing you can really do about it. It's how you react to however the energy is coming to you. Also, I do see in the second week that there's going to possibly be some form of an end coming you guys' way. And that's going to lead someone, maybe you or another person, feeling pretty disappointed. Someone may even be heartbroken. Okay. And for some of you, it's not a love situation. It will be based around some form of agreement, contractual agreement. It may be verbal, maybe written. And just know, trust me on this. If anything has to break by the second week of April, know that in time you'll understand why, and it will be for your betterment. Although it won't feel like it, at least for one of you guys, it won't feel like it. Yeah, having to walk away from a situation for some of you will be work. You won't exactly know why they let you go, why they don't want to put you on full time, why they're not trying to commit to you. There may be some worry that comes with that. But this is just not your place. It's not going to make sense. So it doesn't matter how many times you listen to this. It seems that time is going to prove that to you, that things will work out in due time. But all of this kind of has to happen. You know, the muck and the gut kind of has to happen. And that's never fun. There is a square, I believe, happening, or there was. I don't know if it's still prominent in your chart, but I do see the biggest issues here for the 2 weeks that I'm looking at is communication. Okay. As far as your finances are concerned for the next 2 weeks, I would be conservative. There's some situation where if it's not, excuse me, if you don't feel like you have enough, you're not being paid enough, you may have to be there for someone, assist someone. Someone may be confined in some way that you have to help them. You don't know what all is going on. You're trying to be there for the person. Then it may be something around, a domestic dispute or family situation, because I get more personal than it is career or work-wise. And if it is someone at work, then they may be going through something personal. And I feel like you may be the voice of reason for someone who feels like they are in a confined relationship, something that's holding them back, something that could be quite toxic. And you may be someone that's constantly trying to get through to this person, and it has been very stressful on you because this person literally is just not trying to take a step forward to improve themselves or better their life. It could be your child. It could be, a family member, a friend, a coworker at the job. And I do see that a situation that was or is at this time could be a bit challenging. It will come to an end. Again, things will get a little bit worse before they get better. So keep that in mind. Even if it's not happening to you, just know that some things for things to completely end, it's going to be bittersweet. Okay, if that makes any sense. Now, so that being said, finances, I would be very conservative about them for the next 2 weeks here. It seems like you're good, you guys, as far as your energy, for others of you that's not kind of needing to take a break. I didn't say happy birthday, but happy birthday to you, Aries, who are still here. It looks like some of you may be recovering from, partying and going out, that sort of things. Others of you, you may be having come back from vacation. Okay. And it was a lot going on for this vacation situation. But it looks like as far as others of you, you may be having a whole new zest and zeal in life. You may feel very positive and optimistic about things that's going on. Like that's your desire. Things around you may not be working as well as you would like them to be, but you're hopeful that things are going to still work out no matter what. But just understand that the reality of the situation is that there's some things that needs to kind of end. There's some things that needs to kind of be addressed, because I do see people confronting others. It may be a mother-daughter situation. It could be a manager or a supervisor manager. I see two women here. Okay. Or it could be a person going from one stage dealing with you to another stage. Like at first they were there being very much, nurturing and caring, and then they just changed. It could be a reason, obviously, why they've made that change, but there was some form of a change that came with this person, and now they're confronting you. Okay. I don't necessarily see like energy that goes to like an argument, a fight, and fallout, and then an end like I would typically see. This is more of like compartmentalized things happening in spurts. Like this is happening, then that's happening, and that's happening. So that's kind of how your 2 weeks is going to go for some of you that can relate to this. I do see that there's going to be some endings. And again, for all of you, it'll be different that will experience this. For some of you, it'll be, again, at the workplace. Others of you, it could be a silver lining at the end of it. It could be that someone, or maybe up to 3 people, are going to be let go, but then you are the person that gets to stay on. You get a full contract with the company, but then 3 people get let go. Be very careful if this isn't something that has already transpired. If you've been trying to get a new job within this Mercury retrograde, it may prove to be a bit difficult down the line for you guys to hold on to it, or for you to even be happy with it, simply because the Mercury retrograde is in your sign of Aries. So there may be, some direct link to it being something that you may find a bit unstable. I'll say that. Okay. Because I do see commitments not continuing. It's something about commitments falling through. So keep that in the forefront. Okay. Love. So it seems to me that the love situation here is quite interesting. I feel there's a clear dichotomy, between male and female energy. So let's tackle the female energy first. It seems that some Aries women, you are in this dynamic where you're single now. You don't know if you're going to stay that way, because you're just in this gray period. When you're in a transitional phase where it's like you've just broken up with someone. You guys aren't on speaking terms at all. There isn't any talk of let's try to work this out or anything like that. But you haven't completely emotionally disconnected from the person. But the reality is that it's very unclear if there's going to ever be a reconciliation. Some of you are at that stage. And basically, some of you, if you're at that stage, it had a lot to do with the fact that the person the commitment was not there. There was a problem with a full commitment. This person may have hid behind a lot of things, giving you things, promised you things, a lot of promises that were not being kept, and that led to possibly a breakup. This person could be an on again, off again person. So they come into your life, whenever, then they disappear. And that's the kind of, again, not to fall too heavy into a commitment. I do see for some of you that could relate to this, there's a feeling like you have this person, there's still a hole there with that person, although your heart longs to start over and again. And there's options out there. Like you do have options. You do have, people that, you're very much, if you want to go out and start socializing, you wouldn't have a problem, meeting people. Not at all. And I feel like you kind of have learned some form of a lesson from the situation. Like, now that it's like you want to, if you have no children, you want to be a mother, you want to be a wife. There's just certain requirements that you want now. And your bar isn't going to get any lower. It's only going to stay there or get higher at most. And you're now going to start to take on a newfound mentality of like, what do they say? Deal breaker. Like that's your deal breaker. For some of you, it won't be child or marriage. For some of you, it may be that he has to come with this amount of money. Whatever have experienced from that past person, now you're setting your bar and saying that, straight away, when I meet the next person, it's going to be this. Like you're now going to be set and dead set in how you are going to operate or be handled going forward. Now, you still have this situation that you have to deal with. Still have to deal with this breakup. And in the second week, I do see that there's going to be having to finally come to terms that this is going to be it. Okay. But I would say never say never. But there's going to be, you kind of having to deal with that heartache and that disappointment. Okay. And having to make a decision of, is it completely finally over? Because you guys are just in this very gray period of not speaking, but trust and believe you guys are both in this stage of not really knowing exactly if you 100% want to still be together or no, as they say. The male aspect in your life, and I'm going to also start speaking about Aries men, is Aries men wants to be free. They want to be free. They really don't want a full commitment. Now, it could just be because they're commitment phobe, or, past relationships been hurt or something from their childhood. It could be a number of things why people don't choose to want to commit fully. Or they may just feel like they don't want to commit to you. You're not the one for them. Okay. Everyone's different, but the male energy that I'm picking up here, and for some Aries, this is not for every Aries, but for some that can relate to this, and for the Aries women that says, yes, this sounds like my situation. The male aspect is a commitment phobe. How and why to you, everyone will be different. I said that like 50 million times, right? So, that's pretty much the long and short of it. He doesn't want to commit. He's contemplating and think about this thing as well. There's a need to kind of want to mentally get into a place of peacefulness. You may find that he took a trip, or, maybe he's not speaking to you at this time because he's trying to just like keep the peace or just trying to stay in a place of peace. But as far as him having to contend with this commitment, needing to get married, move in together, elevate this commitment to another level, I feel like he is going to get to a point where he's going to pretty much mourn the relationship. He's going to go through some mourning, so don't feel as though no, he doesn't care and he's not thinking about it, and he's thinking about it. He's going to mourn it, and there's going to be, I feel, if not now, possibly down the line, once Mercury goes direct again, you guys will come full circle and need to have to discuss this, need to have that talk, that final purge. And it could be like an out of the blue situation. Like no one intends to talk, and then out of the blue, someone just says, I got to talk to them. Or you'll just see the person out of nowhere. But there will be like this out of the blue having to either say, okay, bam, we're done, or we need to really have closure in order to be done. Okay. So it's not over. The fat lady has not sung, as they say, no pun intended. There still needs to be a finite to this thing, whether it'll be conscious, in your conscious mind, you settle it, and there is never a face-to-face or a phone call or anything, or there will be that chance meeting, that having to, call that person and then have that finite. Others of you, if it's not that situation, then, and I do feel like for a lot of you, it is that, if you're in this transitional phase where you're kind of like breaking up, and if you're single, it kind of goes for the same. But if you are in a committed relationship, you and your mate may have had some issues. Okay. It could be some money situations going on. It could be, it could have something to do with children, is what it looks like here. Like, I feel like if you have children, one may be fine. The other one may be problematic. Some of you may be having some problems with family aspect, is what it looks like here. There may be some problems at work. So just like day-to-day mundane problems and issues that you guys are going through. There may be a situation where in a committed relationship that someone may feel as though they're doing everything and the other person isn't pulling their weight. Like every time you're working and you're never here to help with the kids. You're never here to, like, that type of thing. So someone's, or you promised you would do this. You said you would do that. And the person's like falling through on their commitments. So that's the type of thing that I'm kind of seeing as well. The advice here for all of you, especially for those of you who, well, not especially, for those of you who have children, a child will bring you immense joy. Getting focused on young people, children, because they're going to show you, they're going to influence you to be more in the moment, because some of you are thinking about tomorrow and yesterday, and next year. And children have an amazing way of making you think of right now. And that's the great thing about Aries, because you guys have that innate to your energy as well. But right now, that may be a bit lost on you. So children will be a great energy to be around. And especially for the first 9 days of this month, great energy. And also, if it's not children, then getting back to your childlike state will make you so happy. Doing things, silly things, things that you like, brings back nostalgia, or just gives you that get up and go and that gumption and just want to feel alive again, so that you're more focused on, the better and more positive energy out there than trying to figure this situation out. Because it really isn't much to figure out. You just have to let the chips fall where they may, because it's a lot of things happening that you really kind of can't control. So that's what I have for you for the first 2 weeks of this month. I hope that this has been helpful. Again, another long one for Aries. Seems like it's very appropriate. You guys have a lot going on. I hope that this has resonated in the best way possible for most of you that's listening to this. If you would like to share and let us know how it has, please do so in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. And if you would like a reading with me, I can be reached in the beginning and into this video, as well as the description box below. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Aries.